Hi, my Capricorn. I need to share something really special with you today because the energy coming through these cards is just incredible. I pulled cards specifically about your romantic future, and what I'm seeing here is genuinely beautiful. This reading is all about a partnership that's going to change your entire life trajectory. Someone who brings both deep love and real stability into your world. Before we dive in, if you resonate with this message, go ahead and drop your sun, moon, or rising sign in the comments below. I love connecting with you all and hearing how these readings land for different people. So I shuffled my deck with your energy in mind, Capricorn, asking the universe to show me what's coming in your romantic life. The cards practically jumped out at me. We have 6 powerful cards here that tell such a complete story about this incoming connection. Let me walk you through what Spirit wants you to know. The first card that came through is the 4 of Pentacles. Now, I know what some people might think when they see this card because traditionally it can represent holding on too tightly to resources or being guarded. But here's what's fascinating about this particular card in the context of your love reading. This person who's coming into your life has worked incredibly hard to build their security. They understand the value of stability because they've created it themselves. This isn't someone who's careless with resources or takes financial matters lightly. What I'm picking up here is that this incoming partner has a really solid foundation. They own their own home, or they have substantial savings, or they've built a business from the ground up. There's something about their relationship with material security that's really grounded and mature. They're not flashy about their wealth either. This is someone who drives a reliable car, not necessarily the newest luxury model. They invest wisely rather than spending impulsively. They think long-term about everything they do. The beautiful thing for you, Capricorn, is that this matches your energy so perfectly. You understand hard work. You respect people who've built something real through dedication and consistency. This person gets that same satisfaction from creating stability that you do. When you meet them, you're going to recognize this quality immediately. It's going to feel like talking to someone who speaks your language when it comes to values and priorities. But here's the deeper layer I'm seeing with the 4 of Pentacles. This person has been guarded with their heart in the past. They've protected themselves emotionally the same way they've protected their material resources. They haven't opened up to just anyone because they know their worth and they're selective about who they let into their inner world. This isn't someone who's been dating around casually or jumping from relationship to relationship. They've been waiting for the right person. For someone who matches their level of commitment and seriousness about life. That person is you. Capricorn, you're exactly what they've been protecting their heart for. When they meet you, something in them is going to recognize that it's safe to open up. You represent the kind of partnership they've been building their life to share with someone. All that security they've created. They've been doing it with the unconscious knowing that one day they'd have a partner worthy of sharing it with. I'm also picking up that this person might have some concerns about being valued only for their resources. They've maybe encountered situations in the past where people were more interested in what they could provide materially than who they are as a human being. So they're careful. They observe. They want to make sure someone loves them for their character, their mind, their heart. With you, they're going to feel that authenticity immediately because you, Capricorn, you bring your own security to the table. You're not looking for someone to take care of you financially. You're looking for an equal partner. Someone to build an empire with, not someone to provide an empire for you. The energy here is really about the self-sufficient people choosing to combine their strengths. That's powerful. That's the kind of foundation that creates lasting love. Moving to our second card, we have the Empress. Oh Capricorn, this card is absolutely gorgeous in this position. The Empress represents abundance, nurturing energy, creativity, and deep feminine power. In the context of your incoming relationship, this card is showing me that this partnership is going to be incredibly fertile, in every sense of that word. First, let's talk about the romantic energy here. This person is going to bring out a softer side of you that maybe you don't show to the world. Very often, you're known for being strong, capable, responsible, always handling your business. But with this person, you're going to feel safe enough to relax into your more receptive, vulnerable, sensual self. They create space for you to just be without having to prove anything or perform any role. The Empress is about creation and growth. This relationship is going to be generative. You two are going to create beautiful things together. Whether that's a business, a home that feels like a sanctuary, potentially children if that's something you want, or creative projects that bring you both joy. There's this energy of your combined efforts producing something greater than what either of you could create alone. I'm seeing garden imagery with the Empress. And that's such a perfect metaphor for this relationship. Gardens require patience, consistent care, the right conditions, and time to flourish. You don't plant seeds and expect flowers the next day. This partnership is going to be something you both nurture deliberately and lovingly. Your Capricorn nature understands this perfectly because you already think in terms of long-term cultivation. Rather than instant gratification, this person is going to appreciate beauty and comfort in ways that might surprise you. They might introduce you to experiences you haven't prioritized before because you've been so focused on building and achieving. Maybe they love cooking elaborate meals and they want to feed you. Maybe they have a talent for creating cozy, beautiful spaces and they transform your living environment. Maybe they're into art or music or nature in ways that help you reconnect with the sensory pleasures of life. The Empress also speaks to emotional abundance. This person has a generous heart. They give freely of their affection, their time, their attention. They're not stingy with compliments or expressions of love. They're going to make you feel cherished and adored, not in an over-the-top performative way, but in consistent, genuine ways that fill your cup. After being so strong for so long, Capricorn, you're going to discover how good it feels to receive that kind of devotion. There's also something here about this relationship helping you connect more deeply with your own creative power and intuition. The Empress is deeply intuitive and connected to natural cycles and rhythms. This partnership is going to encourage you to trust your gut feelings more, to honor your needs for rest and pleasure, to see productivity as something that includes creation and beauty, not just achievement and accomplishment. I'm getting that this relationship might also bring abundance in material ways, beyond what you already have individually. The Empress rules Venus, the planet of love and money. When you combine your resources and energies, prosperity flows more easily. You might find that opportunities open up that weren't available when you were operating solo. Doors open for partnerships that benefit you both. The third card here is the Hangman. And this one is really interesting because it represents a complete shift in perspective. Something about this relationship is going to require you to see love differently than you have before. Capricorn, the Hangman asks us to surrender, to let go of control, to view situations from an entirely new angle. Here's what I'm picking up with this energy. You've likely approached relationships in the past with a certain set of expectations and rules. Maybe you thought love had to look a certain way or follow a particular timeline. Maybe you've been controlling about how things unfold, because that's how you manage other areas of your life successfully. The Hangman is saying that this connection is going to teach you about the beauty of surrender. And trust, this doesn't mean losing yourself or compromising your boundaries. It means releasing the need to orchestrate every detail of how this relationship develops. It means being willing to be surprised by love, to let it unfold organically rather than trying to force it into your predetermined plan. For someone who likes to have everything mapped out, Capricorn, this might feel uncomfortable at first, but it's going to be so liberating. The Hanged Man often appears when we need to pause and reflect before moving forward. There might be a period where this connection develops more slowly than you want it to. Maybe there are external circumstances that require patience. Maybe this person or you need time to wrap up previous chapters before fully committing to this new one. The message here is that this waiting period is purposeful. It's giving both of you time to see each other clearly, to build a foundation of friendship and trust, to make sure the timing is truly right. I'm also seeing that this relationship might challenge some of your long-held beliefs about what you deserve or what's possible for you in love. The Hanged Man represents a sacrifice of old patterns for new wisdom. You might need to let go of a story that you're too busy for love, or that you have to choose between career success and romantic fulfillment, or that vulnerability equals weakness. This person is going to show you that you can have both ambition and deep connection. That being soft with someone you trust doesn't diminish your strength in the world. There's something about viewing your own worthiness from a new angle too. Maybe you've told yourself that you'll focus on love after you achieve certain goals, or when you have more time, or when you've proven yourself sufficiently. The Hanged Man is flipping that script. You're worthy of profound love right now, exactly as you are, with whatever you've already accomplished and wherever you still want to grow. The fourth card is the Five of Pentacles. And I know this might seem concerning at first glance because this card traditionally shows hardship or feeling left out in the cold. But in the context of this love reading, it's revealing something really important about both your journey and theirs. This card is showing me that either you, this person, or both of you have experienced a period of emotional or material scarcity in the past. Maybe there was a time when you felt unloved or unlovable. Maybe there was a relationship that left you feeling depleted. Maybe there were financial struggles that made you feel insecure or isolated. The Five of Pentacles represents having been through something difficult that taught you what you truly need and value. What's beautiful about this card appearing here is that it's in the past energy. You've walked through that cold period. You survived it. And because of that experience, you know exactly how precious warmth, security, and genuine partnership are. You're not taking this incoming love for granted, because you remember what it felt like to go without it. This person has their own story of struggle too. They've faced challenges that forged their character and taught them resilience. Maybe they built their financial security after experiencing instability. Maybe they know what it's like to feel alone even in a crowd. There's a depth to them that comes from having overcome real obstacles. They're not superficial or naive about life's difficulties when you come together. There's going to be this mutual recognition of each other's strength. You both know what it takes to keep going when things are hard. You both value stability because you've experienced its absence. You're not going to create drama or instability in each other's lives, because you've both had enough of that already. What you're creating together is sanctuary, safety, a shelter from the storms. The Five of Pentacles is also about healing. This relationship is going to help heal old wounds for both of you. The places where you felt insufficient or left behind. This person is going to show you that you're more than enough. The times when you felt unsupported, they're going to be your steadfast support. You're going to do the same for them, offering them the acceptance and appreciation they've been hungry for. I'm picking up that you might meet this person during a transition period in your life. Maybe you're recovering from something challenging, or you're rebuilding in some area. The Five of Pentacles says, don't let current circumstances make you feel like you're not ready for love. Actually, this is a perfect time because you're both real with each other about where you are. There's no pretense, no trying to impress each other with perfection. Just two genuine people ready to support each other forward. The fifth card is the Eight of Swords. And this is another one that might look challenging, but it carries such an important message for you right now, Capricorn. The Eight of Swords shows a figure who's bound and blindfolded, surrounded by swords, seemingly trapped. But here's a key detail that many people miss when they see this card: the bindings are loose. And there's actually a clear path forward if the person would just remove the blindfold and see it. What this tells me is that you might be feeling trapped by your own thoughts or fears about love right now. Maybe you're telling yourself that you don't have time for a relationship. Maybe you're convinced that all the good ones are taken. Maybe you've decided that you need to be more successful or more healed or more something before you're ready for this kind of partnership. These are the swords surrounding you, Capricorn, but they're not actually trapping you. They're thoughts and beliefs that feel limiting, but they're not objective reality. The Eight of Swords is asking you to examine what mental patterns might be keeping you from being fully open to this incoming love. Are you overthinking how this relationship should develop? Are you creating problems in your mind before they've even happened in reality? Are you so focused on potential risks that you're blinding yourself to the beautiful possibility right in front of you? I'm getting that you might have some fear around vulnerability or being disappointed. Maybe past experiences taught you to guard your heart carefully. Maybe you've seen relationships fail, and you're trying to protect yourself from that pain. The Eight of Swords says these protective mechanisms made sense once, but now they're keeping you stuck in a pattern of isolation that you've actually outgrown. The exciting message here is that freedom is available to you anytime you choose to remove the blindfold. Those limiting beliefs about love, about your worthiness, about what's possible for you, they're not permanent truths. They're just thoughts you can choose to question and release. When this person comes into your life, you're going to need to consciously choose to let them in, to trust the process, to believe that this can actually work out beautifully. This card also suggests that you have more options and more power in your love life than you currently realize. You're not as stuck or limited as you might feel. There are opportunities for connection all around you, but you have to be willing to see them. You have to be willing to take the blindfold off and look clearly at what's real versus what's just fear talking. The Eight of Swords is ultimately about mental liberation. As you move toward this significant relationship, work on freeing yourself from restrictive thoughts about love. Challenge the voice that says you're too busy or too damaged or to anything. Question the beliefs that tell you love has to be difficult, or that you have to sacrifice other important things to have it. This partnership is going to prove those limiting beliefs wrong. But you have to be willing to consider that possibility first. Our sixth and final card is the Three of Swords, and I want to address this one carefully because I know it can look scary. The Three of Swords traditionally represents heartbreak, pain, grief. But in this context, positioned as it is in your reading, it's not predicting that this relationship will hurt you. Instead, it's acknowledging that you've been hurt before and that pain is part of your story. This card validates that your heart has been broken. Maybe a past relationship ended badly. Maybe you were betrayed or disappointed by someone you trusted. Maybe you've experienced rejection that cut deep. The Three of Swords says yes, that happened and it mattered. And you don't have to pretend it didn't affect you. But here's what's important about this card showing up now. It's showing up so that you can acknowledge this pain, and then consciously decide not to let it dictate your future. Your incoming partner doesn't deserve to be punished for what someone else did to you. This new connection deserves a fair chance, not one contaminated by old wounds. The Three of Swords is actually a card of clarity and truth. Swords cut through illusion. The painful experiences you've had have taught you what you don't want, what you won't tolerate, what genuine love should actually feel like. That clarity is valuable. It means you're not going to settle for less than you deserve. It means you can recognize a real thing when it shows up. I'm also seeing that this person might have their own history of heartbreak. They understand pain because they felt it too. When you eventually share your stories with each other, there's going to be deep compassion and understanding. You're not going to judge each other for past hurts or for being cautious as you open up again. You'll give each other the time and space needed to build trust. The Three of Swords can also represent necessary endings that make space for new beginnings. Maybe you had to go through those painful experiences to get to where you are now, ready for this level of connection. Maybe those heartbreaks were actually redirections, closing doors that needed to close so the right door could open. Sometimes the universe has to break our hearts open to make room for bigger love than we knew was possible. This card is asking you to do some emotional healing work if you haven't already. Don't bring unprocessed pain into this new relationship. Talk to a therapist, journal, spend time with supportive friends. Do whatever you need to do to release old hurts. This incoming partner is offering you fresh start energy, but you have to be willing to leave the past in the past. The beautiful thing is that when two people who've both experienced heartbreak come together with healed hearts and clear intentions, they create something incredibly strong. You both know how precious love is. You both know how to fight for what matters. You're both entering this with eyes wide open, choosing each other consciously rather than falling blindly.